Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is the Israel War and how Russia and North Korea have made a pact, and they even specifically say it's to attack America. So my first question before we get started is, what is Watch Prophecy Club? Well, a lot of people that have been going to this have been very impressed, the comments are, because for some 25 years we used to have a guest speaker in, sometimes 2 or 3 a month. We made over, I think it was like 330 DVDs from 160 guest speakers. Most all of them, about 300 of them, are available at watchprophecyclub.com. You can watch them instantly. And they're about 2.5 hours each. We used to offer them for a gift of $30. That's about $9,000 worth of DVDs, all for a gift of $20 a month or $200 a year. Things on it like is. As you can see, here's some of the titles. Some more of the titles: Prophecies of Oil in Israel, More Prophecies of Oil in Israel, Asher's Secret Prophecy and Oil in Israel, Meteor Destruction of America, and also Catastrophe, Meteor, Tsunami, and Earthquake. A lot of them. Matter of fact, this is one of your favorite ones that I talk and relate to a lot. This is from Pastor Shane Warren, and it's all up there. Go to watchprophecyclub.com, $20 a month, $200 a year, and yes, it helps your prophecy club. But it gets a lot of really good information into your heart. Watchprophecyclub.com. Also, office just called me. We have 10 Berkey Royals in stock, and they come with 2 filters, about 3¼ gallons per Berkey, and they're $450 plus shipping. We also now carry Alexa Pure, which is a little smaller, 2¼ gallons. Each filter lasts about 200 gallons, then you replace it. It comes with 1 filter for $275 or 2 filters for $375 and $120 for each extra filter, maximum 4. Also, you can get a stand for $40 and 65-gallon water bank, which is a big bladder that you put into your bathtub, fill it up, and it should stay fresh for about 16 weeks. And it provides water for about 2 months for one person. Okay, so Israel war, Russia and North Korea pact. IDF chief spokesman says no return to North for evacuees before September 1. So it doesn't sound to me like we're getting too close to a Palestinian state. So probably we're not going to see Omer Usher's in Palestinian state anytime real soon. And actually, that's good news. Covert intel, Israel-Hezbollah war urgent. So what this is about to say is apparently Israel is not going to just war with Gaza in the south, but they're also about to go into Hezbollah in the north. So Israel sent a message to Lebanon that Hezbollah must evacuate southern Lebanon to the north of Litani River by June 24th, or Israel will launch an offensive into Lebanon. So it doesn't sound to me like we're going to be looking at a Palestinian state this year. It also reported that the leader sent a communique back to American envoy to Hochstein. When Hochstein got the communique from Nasrallah, he immediately turned around, headed back to Israel, requested an urgent meeting with Israeli officials about what Nasrallah said. He has now found out what was said. Nasrallah directly told Hochstein that if Hezbollah sees that Israel is going to launch an actual offensive into Lebanon, Hezbollah will launch a preemptive strike on Israel. Nasrallah also allegedly said the level of the preemptive strike would be, here it is, like nothing Israel has ever encountered before, and it will cripple the country. Now that sounds like nuclear, doesn't it? As reported above, clearly shaken by what he's told, turned right around and headed back to Israel for urgent meetings, and now it is confirmed. Israel has approved an offensive for Lebanon, so the whole thing with Israel is about to heat up. Not just one nation they're attacking, but now a second one. Israeli citizens who have evacuated the north have been informed that they will not be able to return home for at least a year, another report says. The leader of the Palestinian Jihad in Syria publicly posted that he was going to send troops to support Hezbollah against Israel if an invasion occurred. So, it looks like there's not going to be a Palestinian state this year. That's what it looks like. But we will see. Now let's talk about war, how Russia is preparing to attack America. NATO warns that they are on the brink of war, nuclear war, World War III. So NATO today warned the world that it is on the brink of a nuclear war, a World War III, and announced that it is taking nuclear weapons out of storage. Okay, are you listening? This is huge. NATO is taking weapons out of storage specifically to defend themselves against Russia. NATO indicated that it has put an undisclosed number of nuclear warheads on standby. These are fighting words. Now, we know that it's not yet because there hasn't been an internal revolution, but the problem is that internal revolution could be a whole lot closer than what we think. Next article, IDF ordered for strategic victory over Hezbollah. Lebanon attack operational plans approved, heavy attack on U.S. The Israeli armed forces have now announced, as the other article says, that they're going to be attacking Lebanon now the decision's been made. Israel at this time has no room for a draw in Lebanon. In other words, they've got to take this all the way to the end. I told Secretary Blinken that it is unthinkable in recent months that the administration would not deliver arms and ammunition to Israel. So if there's a time that Israel needs America and needs our arms, is now. But we're not supporting Israel. And you remember, Chris Reed was told, as Israel goes, so goes America. So if Israel is destroyed, or if they won't be destroyed, if they're attacked, America's going to be attacked. And whatever happens in Israel, it'll be 100 times worse in America. We're very close to the moment when we will decide to change the rules of the game against Hezbollah in Lebanon. This is Israel talking. In an all-out war, Hezbollah will be destroyed and Lebanon will be hit hard. The IDF must achieve a clear strategic victory over Hezbollah in this war. Otherwise, Iran's axis will continue to launch attacks into the coming years and wear down Israel military psychologically. Now, that's what they say. But it would certainly fit the prophecies if all of a sudden Israel popped up and agreed to give the Palestinians a state. We don't know. We're watching. Israel's top priority must shift from Gaza to the Lebanon-Iran front. The IDF should launch an all-out attack on all of Lebanon if the IDF believes that Hezbollah can be defeated in a relatively short period of time. Otherwise, Israel should seek a diplomatic agreement, that would be a Palestinian state, to end the conflict, prepare for war against the Iranian axis within a few years. Now, let's talk about Russia and how they buddy-buddied up with North Korea against America. All of these are against America. Putin said and did it. Russia-North Korea Mutual Defense Pact loads Pyongyang with nuclear ICBM confirmation. Okay, what is this saying? It's saying that Russia and North Korea are exchanging weapons. Russia's helping North Korea, where it can, is helping Russia, and they're openly saying it is in preparation to attack America. Watch. Russia and North Korea signed a mutual defense pact, a fact that changes the situation in Asia and the Ukraine war. Russia and North Korea are now obligated to help each other in the event of an attack by the U.S. or a third country. We know that America is not going to attack North Korea or Russia. We know from the prophecies it is Russia and North Korea that attack America in a surprise nuclear attack. Russia will equip North Korea with modern missiles, medium and long range, while it will deliver nuclear technology, and the target is American bases in South Korea. They openly say it. South Korea, Japan, and Guam, that means they're attacking America. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I will give missiles to your enemies. So now, North Korea and Russia are preparing to attack America. Article goes on to say, Putin and Kim Jong-un signed an agreement on mutual assistance in case of an attack by another country. We know they attack first. Actually, we've already attacked them officially, so they can attack anytime they want to. The agreement provides for a mutual assistance in the event of an act of aggression against any of its two members. It is essentially a military defense alliance of the two states, which will be obliged to come to the aid in the event of the other one getting attacked. So, in the event of NATO attack on Russia, North Korea will provide us with military assistance, accordingly, we'll come to the rescue. So they're both buddy-buddy now. Two countries stand against the states. What states? That would be the United States, to impose politically motivated sanctions. In other words, the only nation that's providing politically motivated sanctions is America. That's what we do. The new agreement was made due to the rapid developments in the geopolitical situation in the world and the region. Article continues. Russian missiles in North Korea. So now North Korean missiles, including the long-range MLRS missiles equivalent to HIMARS, will be delivered to Russia. So they're exchanging missiles. Essentially, that's what this is saying. Let's go on to the next one. Let me play a video for you here. This is Putin saying that Russia and North Korea are actually working together to attack the West.
Обращаю внимание на заявления Соединенных Штатов, других натовских стран о поставках высокоточных систем вооружения большого радиуса действия, самолетов F-16 и другого высокотехнологичного вооружения, техники для нанесения ударов по российской территории.
듣기 쉽습니다.
Да, собственно, это не только заявление, это уже и происходит.
이건 지금
И все это грубые нарушения взятых на себя западными странами ограничений в рамках различного рода международных обязательств. В этой связи Российская Федерация не исключает для себя развитие военно-технического сотрудничества с Корейской Народно-Демократической Республикой в соответствии с подписанным сегодня документом.
Another article, Milestone Decision. Putin has now decided that he's going to hit U.S. bases and NATO targets around the world. Russia's pervasive attitude, or passive, let me read that again. Russia's passive attitude is over, they say. So Russia is basically done being patient. Russia will now arm all U.S. NATO enemies to strike U.S. military targets, bases and targets around the world in an application of the enemy of my enemy is my friend doctrine. In the Kremlin, they say, we hope the West got Putin's message. Well, I can tell you what, they probably got the message, but they aren't listening. They aren't believing because leadership in America is trying to destroy America. Why else would they cut off our oil supplies? Why else would they start attacking Russia? Why else would they open up the southern and northern border and actually coordinate with some 6 million people coming in that can be enemies? The enemy is within right now. It goes on to say, a State Duma member, Leonid Slutsky, added that Russia's patience is certainly long, but it is not unlimited. Russia will give long-range weapons to various regions of the world from where they will be able to sensitive attacks against countries that supply weapons to Ukraine, and that would be America.
Те страны, которые, находясь в агонии однополярной идеи, пытаются сохранить идею фикс однополярного мироустройства, где единственным центром силы, влияния, принятия решения будет Вашингтон, уже не выйдет. Поэтому те, кто еще сохраняют эту идеологию и пытаются наносить по нам ракетно-бомбовые и прочие удары, ну, естественно, мы будем отвечать адекватно. В том числе, да, возможно использование территорий дружественных стран, если против нас будет применяться серьезное оружие, а это, как мы с вами знаем, уже происходит. Поэтому терпение наше, безусловно, велико, но не безгранично.
So Putin says, strike American bases around the world. Russia can deliver long-range weapons to regions of the world which will be followed by sensitive attacks on states that supply Ukraine weapons. So again, he's saying we're preparing to attack America. Next article. The House of Vladimir, meaning Vladimir Putin, desperate Putin appoints his cousin with zero military experience as defense minister after ruthless purge of top brass. This is one of the things that we see in nations that are getting ready to go to war. Because when the top leader announces, we're going to go over and attack, or we're going to go to war with this country, there's always a few people at the top that say, that's not a good idea, don't do that. And apparently, what has happened here is apparently a lot of Putin's top brass said, no, 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 don't do this. Don't go to war with America. Don't attack America. Don't get, okay? And so Putin says, okay, fine, you're fired. What does he do? He finds people that will be loyal to him, and that's what it's saying. So he sacked the top ministers and appointed his cousin as the new Russian defense minister. She's a hardline supporter with the dictator's war in Ukraine. In other words, she's a yes person to what Putin wants to do. Next article. The U.S. Navy is monitoring Russian warships inside of Miami. Now, we talked about this a couple of days ago. It's gotten worse, though. So American-Canadian warships tracked a Russian submarine as it traveled along the Florida coast, close to the Florida coast, as in where it could be seen. They were sending a message. A Russian naval flotilla that docked in Havana, Cuba last week raised concerns of the Kremlin's intentions in the Western Hemisphere amid heightened tension between the U.S. and Russia over Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine and concerns that it may escalate further afield. In other words, we're probably about to see Putin start using nuclear weapons against Ukraine. During the visit, the missile frigate Admiral Gershov, the nuclear-powered cruise missile submarine Kazan, the oil tanker Pashan, and the salvage tug passed very close to Florida shores on the way to Havana with open satellite tracking, one vessel less than 30 miles off Key Largo ahead of military drills. Okay, so does this look to you like a warning? Because it sure does to me. Here's another one. Does this scare you? You see those little orange lines there? Those are American aircraft that are tracking the submarine. But the submarine wasn't hard to track. Apparently, in a lot of the places, it was up on the surface. In this case, now, my guess is this in the background is Havana. I'm not an expert on it. But here we see people standing on top of the submarine. To me, this is a very big warning that I'm willing to attack, and we know that Russia can attack America, and America can't stop the missiles, and that America does not have missiles that Russia cannot stop, meaning Russia can take out America anytime it wants to with no repercussions. Let me encourage you to go to watchprophecyclub.com. You want to watch this video? So we had Henry Gruver, he's gone to be with the Lord now, in to speak. And he had 6 different visions talking about the future. I called the DVD, I Saw the Submarines. This was one of the visions. I've read it many times. I'll read it again. It's short. So Henry was in Wales, December 14th, 1986. He went on top of the Eagle Tower of the Carnarvon Castle. That's what he did, is walk and pray over areas. Then he goes to a high point, raises his hand, reclaims the land for God, and that's what he was doing. All of a sudden, I was above the earth, looking down on the earth like a globe. I saw this massive amount of ships and airplanes coming out of this outlet out of Norway. They headed between the United States, literally covering the whole Atlanta. I looked over on the globe of the United States, coming out of the United States, radio communication towers, he later identified as cell towers, which of course 86 there weren't any. All of a sudden they began to sprinkle down on the earth like dust, and I thought, oh no, they're not getting through. They're not getting through. They don't know what is happening, meaning that our computer chips were all fried with an EMP attack first before the nuclear missiles flew. Then I began to see all these submarines emerging from under the surface. I was surprised at how close to the words were our borders. They were interterritorial waters. In another place, he said it looked like they were parked on our beaches. The missiles took less than 60 seconds to launch, from launch to detonation. Seattle, Bellevue, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Miami, and Tampa. 6 nuclear blasts literally leveled everything. I cried out and I said, oh God, when will this be, and what will be the sign of its coming? I heard an audible voice speak from behind me and say, when Russia opens her doors and lets the masses go, the free world will occupy themselves with transporting, housing, feeding, and caring for the masses, and will let down their weapons and cry peace and safety. Then sudden destruction will come. Then is when it will come. Go to watchprophecyclub.com. Now, next article. I think this is the final article. U.S. prepares obsolete Minuteman III ICBMs. Pentagon simulation shows 90 million dead Americans in 20 minutes. So this war news says that America conducted a test. Now, here's where it's going to go. It's going to say that our tests failed and that we can't shoot down Russian missiles, and Russia can shoot down any and all of our missiles. We are defenseless as of today. The outdated in relation to Russia's strategic arsenal, ICBM Minuteman II or III intercontinental ballistic missiles are controlled by the U.S. to be ready in case of the fate with Moscow happens. With NOTAM, the U.S. announced the 2 Minuteman III ICBM test launched in 48 hours. It happened 5/6/24. The ICBM has been in service for decades. In other words, it's old technology. One article said they still run on floppy disks, okay? The Minuteman missile, which can carry a nuclear warhead, was manufactured by Boeing. I should look up when it was. It's probably in the 70s, maybe even in the 60s. As key to the U.S. military strategic arsenal, the missile has a range of 6,000 plus miles at a speed of 15,000 miles an hour. That's slow compared to the Russian missiles. The U.S. nuclear arsenal includes Minuteman III, Trident missiles, bombs carried by strategic bombers. All of them are old technology, all very slow. This was the first of the 2 test launches planned for this week. It was worth noting that listen carefully, previous launches of the ICBM missile were unsuccessful due to problems during the launch of the missile. The military was forced to detonate it. Now, my guess is there's nothing wrong with the missile. It's just that Russia used its scalar wave to detonate it, just like they did. What was the missile that went up? And remember, Christie, I forget, too many years, blew up, and we think it was scalar wave that shut it down. Next article, milestone, Prometheus. Now that's the new weapon systems that can knock out any and all of the missiles that we send toward Russia. Prometheus intercepted supersonic vanguards, giving Russia a first strike advantage. The U.S. shield breaks. Okay, what they're about to say here is we have a method to knock down any and all of the U.S. missiles toward us, and we have missiles that you can't shoot down. That's essentially what this is saying. Right now, America is defenseless against devastating nuclear missiles. The Russian Ministry of Defense announced that this year the S-500 Prometheus air defense system, the Shield of Moscow, is being put into service. It's already in service now. They already tested it. The official announcement was preceded by an update on the intervention of ultrasonic targets by the S-500 system, including Avangard and the most modern Russia has. No country in the world has intercepted ultrasonic weapons, even in the tests. For example, the U.S. THAAD and Aegis BMD anti-ballistic shields have never been tested against hypersonic weapons, as the U.S. doesn't have any to test. But, as you recall, 3 weeks ago, Israel was attacked by Iran, but they were using Russian missiles. 8 of them were hypersonic. All 8 of the hypersonic made it through and hit Israel. And Israel has the most advanced weapon systems in the world that America has given them, or sold to them, probably given to them. In other words, America does not have a way to shoot down the Russian hypersonic missiles. Combined, these 2 defensive and offensive weapon systems give America a first strike advantage. What is a first strike advantage? It means that Russia can strike America anytime they want to, and America can't stop it. Now, if you read Daniel says that God watched over Jerusalem to bring the evil upon Jerusalem because Israel had turned away from God. The same thing happened to America now. Moscow has the means to breach NATO's anti-ballistic shield and the means to defend itself effectively. Let me read that again. Combined, these 2 defensive and offensive weapon systems give Russia a first strike advantage. Moscow has the means to breach NATO's anti-ballistic shield and the means to defend itself effectively. In other words, we can't stop them. They can take us out anytime they want to. It goes on to say, Russia has put in operational readiness a series of strategic weapons such as the RS-28 Sarmat at Vanguard and now the S-500. The S-500s, which will be deployed first to Moscow, are considered necessary to deter a possible counterattack from NATO member state. Avant-gardes can develop a speed of Mach 27. That's 27 times the speed of sound. They're unstoppable by all current U.S. defense assets as they have the ability to maneuver in flight. We've talked about this. In other words, they go up, they go down, they go left, right, so we can't stop them. The hypersonic cruise missile is launched out of the Earth's atmosphere and can then hit any target in the world in less than 30 minutes. Another weapon that has also been called invincible or invisible is the Sarmat 5th generation ICBM with 10 heavy or 15 lighter MIRV warheads. What is MIRV? Multi-independent recovery vehicles. In other words, so it's one warhead, it's one missile that goes up, but out of that comes 10 missiles. And it's been said that one Soviet submarine with what I think it carries, we read it last week, 160 nuclear weapons on it. It can take out 160 of our largest cities in one launch, in one submarine, in 1 hour, Revelation says. I think I'm going to end it there. I think I'm going to end it there because, frankly, some of this stuff turns my stomach. Some of this stuff makes me upset. And I want America to repent. I want Americans to turn to Jesus, but I can't reach them. I can't reach them because the social media places put a limit on us. Let me give you an example. We tried to get on, I'll just tell you, we tried to get on TikTok. And the guy made an 8-minute video of me talking in the hall at this recent prophecy conference. They got 28,000 views in 3 days. So he started putting some more up. Well, they started taking them down. And we were getting like 200,000 views. But it got to where within seconds of him posting me talking, apparently it had done some kind of a scan on my voice. And as soon as my voice hit TikTok, boom, deleted. He said, I have 11 channels. He said, because we put you on, they took down all 11 of my TikTok channels. There's a concerted effort to see that this information does not go out. So, we Christians have to make a concerted effort to see that it does. How's that happen? That happens by you clicking like, share, click the bell, and then email this to all of your friends. Just send it out to all of your emails. Well, some of them might not like it. Well, no, probably many of them won't like it. But they better start hearing it, okay? Send it out. Help this message reach people. Let me talk about our 3 sponsors briefly. First, if you want to get gold or silver, we're going to send you to 800-200-GOLD or prophecyclubgold.com. prophecyclubgold.com. Second, if you want to get long-term emergency food, the only place I would send you to is josephskitchen.com. It is what I believe is God's long-term storage food. As you recall, Pharaoh and Joseph, what fed the world for 7 years was wheat. Most of your long-term storage places, $9,000 to $10,000 to feed one person for 1 year. Joseph's Kitchen can show you how to do it for about $1,000, one person, 1 year. And EMP Shield. If you want your car to start, if you want your computers to start after some kind of nuclear event, that's the device to get. And if you go to empshield.com and use the promo code PROPHECY, get your $50 discount and helps your profits as well.